Teal with the Dynamic School of Supernatural Ministry. Welcome to our classes. I wanted to give you a little bit of information on our next class. It's going to be held on February 21st. That's Wednesday night, and it's usually for 2 hours from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can connect via webinar or through a conference call. So we've made it really easy for everybody to be able to join, and you don't have to take off work from your busy schedule and lose necessary income that some people desperately need with a big family. So we have made it easy and accessible for everyone. The class is a 26 hours of information that is actually packed into a 12-chapter class. Each class has teaching and activation. What do I mean by that? Well, we teach you about the 9 gifts of the Spirit, a little bit about church history, and we go into the 9 gifts of the Spirit and what Christ commands are concerning spiritual gifts. And we go into each facet of that, and in each chapter we give teaching and activation. So what do I mean by activation? We aren't just saying we're going to activate you. We literally activate you hands-on. So you will be activated in the gift, and by the end of the class you will be prophesying and you will be hearing from God, and you will be able to operate in the 9 gifts of the Spirit. And so that's what we do in this class, and it's a class that will activate you in your giftings. If you don't know what your spiritual gifts are, this class is the class that you need to take, because it will help you see what your spiritual gifts are and your anointings, and that will help you to understand what your calling is in Christ. You know, a lot of times people that are evangelists, they usually have a gift of healing, but they just never activated it. And in this class you get to activate it, and you can see the giftings and anointings just begin to surface and appear. You'll gain a confidence and a boldness that you've never had, because in the class, as you minister to one another the word of the Lord, you get confirmation from other students. And so that's awesome. You know, a lot of times in times past, ministers would go out and minister, and it happens today. You go out and you minister and you prophesy to people in the meeting, but you really don't know if what you said is true, because you don't get to interact with the people. In class, you get to interact, so we get to see that what you're saying, what you're ministering to somebody is actually right, and you hear what other students say about that same individual. So that brings a boldness and a confidence that you gain through this class. So I've always told people, if there's a class any Christian ought to take, this is the class, because this class will develop you in your gifts. And when you get your gifts activated in your life, you are just going to be able to do so much better, because you're going to be able to hear clearly God's voice. You're going to know how he speaks to you. And besides that, the 9 gifts of the Spirit are weapons. Okay? God has given us these weapons to do battle against the enemy. Not only has he given us prayer and fasting, but the 9 gifts of the Spirit are the other weapons that we have to be able to bombard the enemy's camp. And so we need them. And you know what? If you get all the teaching, you know, sometimes you get teaching in churches. I was in one church, they taught on the gifts of the Spirit for 9 months, but nobody ever got activated. And so this is the time to not only just get teaching, but to get activated once and for all and find out what your gifts are. It's going to help you in so many ways, with your family members, with your friends, with your sphere of influence. You know, one word from God can change an individual's life. So I encourage you all to come out for the class. If you have any further information on the classes, please text the office at 561-235-2335. The number's here on the screen. And you can also visit our website at dynamicprayer.net and go to the School of Ministry tab and click on the button on the left-hand side to register for the class. We need that information so that we can send you a manual and find out a little bit about your past history, how long you've been saved, and information about you, so that we'll be able to better minister and help you minister in classes. You know, we want to make you as effective as you can be. And we can do that by finding out more information about how you got saved and where you're at in your Christian walk. So I want to encourage everyone, again, our next class for ministering spiritual gifts, it's the first class. It's a requirement for all the other levels that we teach. But you'll need to take this class, and our next class is going to be held on Wednesday, February 21st, 2018. And again, the classes are going to be from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can access the class through the webinar or through your own cell phone. We've made it very simple and reasonable for people to be able to join. You don't have to leave town and go to a conference and go to a hotel. rent a car or pay airfare. You can do it from the comforts of your own home. So now there's no more excuses. Everyone can get trained in the gifts of the Spirit. So we hope you'll join us and tell your friends, share it on social media, and take a look at some of the testimonies on this page. On the left-hand side, you can click the button of some of our former students of what they're saying about the class, how it's changed their life. So again, I want to encourage everyone, our next class is going to be February 21st, and that's on a Wednesday night for 2 hours. And then in the month of April, we'll be teaching level 2. So again, you need level 1, this first class in February, before you could take level 2. So again, thanks for listening. And if you have any further questions about the School of Ministry, please text the office at 561-235-2335.